Hello, Oracles. How are we doing today? Well, all I know is that I'm going to keep on predicting that the stock is going to pull back and drop and hit this dead cat bounce because every time I say that, the stock goes up even more. So here we are. We're up over 3.5% today. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. So I mean, I still in deep down in my gut, I do still think that we are going to pull back at some point. There's way too much macro stuff going on for us to not pull back a little bit at least. Maybe I'm just wrong with the timing. I don't know. And maybe I'm just wrong altogether. Maybe we are going to run. Who knows? So let me see. I'll wait for some of you guys to hop on here. Oh, man. So I did change my charts around. So Clueless had suggested I go to white background instead of black. So I don't know if it's going to help you guys. Give me your suggestions. Let me know what you guys think. Let me see here. How's it going? And of course, when I did go to move all of this, it completely screwed up all of my settings as I was trying to adjust things. So it's not how it used to be, but it's still visible. Can still see it. So let me see. I'll hop over here. I'll do share screen and get the charts up for you. Hello from Connecticut. Hello, Houston. Houston, we do not have a problem. Tesla is going to the moon. Let's see. Share. Boom. This guy. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's get this back over here. Greetings from England. Oh, how's it going over there? I'm sure there's a lot of hustle and bustle going on over there with the inauguration and everything going on today. Felipe, 260 average. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, we were so close. And of course, we're joking around. A bunch of us are joking around on Twitter talking about hitting 299.69 and we hit 299.68. I mean, come on, man. So close. Coming in from Maine. Ooh, and all the way from Australia. What time is it out there? Man, it's been 20 years since I've been to Australia, but I do know the time difference is quite significant. And Netherlands, you guys are all over the place. I love this. This community is awesome. Just to have all of you guys from all over the world. It reminds me of my races when I was doing, my ultra races in Sweden and Iceland. Just having everyone from around the world, it's amazing. I love the fact that everybody from around the world can enjoy this. And even Kevin coming in from Florida, that's like a whole nother country in its own. Indiana, you guys are great. Oh, and congratulations, all of us. Thank you so much. We hit 6,000 subscribers on the channel this morning. Absolutely outstanding. So thank you all for that. Very, very excited. And Felipe's in Portugal. My goodness. The best country. Oh, man. So yeah, so looking at the charts today, I mean, we broke out. So I'm looking at the charts here, and where are we at? Let me get over here so you guys can see. So I mean, this was the downward channel we were in. We were solid in it, and then we broke out. And today was a better day. And as we were talking about this morning, and as Clueless had pointed out, volume is important to follow. And so volume itself, see, it's not doing it the way I wanted it to. Oh well. Well, maybe I could do it this way. There we go. Get out of here. So volume is still a little bit lower. So we did get the nice breakout, but let me get over this. So yeah, we did get the nice breakout here, but it's still, a lower volume breakout. That's why, like I said, deep in my gut, I still think we are going to pull back. I do still think we are going to get this dead cat bounce. And actually, I got to check, was there a gap this morning? I think there was a gap. Let me actually do a quick check. Let me see here. Do I have it up? No, I don't have it up. All right. We're going to get into this article in a minute. I don't know if you guys saw this over on Twitter, but this is a great article that we're going to go through tonight as well. Lots of stuff about energy, Giga Nevada, pretty exciting things going on. So let me do this. All right, just going to bring up the checking on the gaps here. But yeah, so I mean, this breakout has been fantastic. Let me see, Tesla historical gold prices, stock price. There we go. Where's that? There we go. That's what I want. So did we have a gap today? And 289. Yeah, we have a gap. We have a gap at 289 now. So let me get this back up for you guys. Yep. So here it is. We have the gap. So for those of you guys who are a little bit newer, the way I check the gaps, super easy. I go to Yahoo Finance and just look up Tesla, and so I look at the close. So the close as of yesterday was 289.26. We opened at 291, and then we did not come to a low during the day to fill that gap at 289. So simple as that. So we've got that gap at 289. So we'll monitor this, and I think that one, obviously we're so close to it now, we'll probably end up filling it. So we still have 247 and 258. Again, they don't have to fill. But I don't know. I don't know why my gut is telling me that we are going to, that we're going to fill. I just feel it. And I think we're going to. Let me get that back up here. Get out of here. There we go. Yeah. So we're up here. I mean, we've seen it in the past. You know, we've seen, like here we were in a downward channel, and then we jumped up and we're like, oh, we broke out of that downward channel, and then we fell back down again. So we've seen it before. Let me make it bigger for you. So we've seen it happen earlier this year. It happens. That's kind of how dead cat bounces work. It comes down, you know, you can see it break out of a channel, and then it continues to come down further. You know, it could be sort of like a bull trap, where it's like, hey, bulls are like, all right, we've broken out of this channel. Let's buy. You buy in, and then it pulls down. But seeing as we've got the lower volume, it's a weaker breakout. Let me see. Go through your comments really quick. Yep, buy order set at 251. Yep, I've got my buy order still in at 250. I mean, and again, not financial advice. I could be totally wrong. Maybe we don't come down and fill that gap. Maybe we run to the moon and I miss out. But the way I play it is similar to how I plan on playing put options when I do get to the point where I can play options. And with the put options, that's basically what it is you sell a put and you say, hey, I think the stock is going to come down to 250. So I'm going to place my bet basically on that it's going to get down to 250. You get the premium for that. If it pulls down to 250, you get to buy those shares. And the downside of that is if the stock runs, then you don't get to buy those shares. So you miss out on the gains you would get from those shares. That's the downside of puts. But that's why I kind of play it both ways. So I have my main portfolio with stocks that, you know, I've already got that. So I'm not going to miss out on the run. I'll just miss out on the run from those extra shares I was planning on buying. That's really the way I look at it. And so when I'm looking at playing puts, to me, it's a win-win. You're getting paid to take a chance at buying stocks lower. And if it doesn't pull back, you've still made money. You just don't get the shares. So that's just the way I look at it. Let me see. Sophie, what did I miss about the lithium? Yes. So we're going to get into that in a moment. So there's a couple of things going on. Yeah, I know you're busy over there in the UK with everything you've got going on. And yeah, I personally think that we are still going to get down to 250. So again, looking at this, we've jumped up. We've got the 289 gap to fill. I think we're going to hit here. And now next week, we've got CPI and PPI. And we did just get the first forecast expectations for CPI, and they're coming in at 8.1. Now, personally, I thought 8.1 was going to be a good number if we came in at that. So now that's the expectation is 8.1. So now hitting a 7.0 or hitting something in the 7, so even if it's 7.9, hitting something with a 7 in front is a feasible number to hit. And I think if we end up getting that, let's say we get a 7.8 or a 7.9, then the Fed's going to end up going with a interest rate hike of maybe 50 basis point and 75. So, but again, with Jerome Powell still talking about how, hey, we want to go hawkish, we want to make sure we're getting inflation down. But Kathy Wood is arguing, hey, you guys are using lagging data. So the problem is you're using data that we've had from 3, 4, 5 months ago, looking at all of these numbers saying, oh, we got to get inflation down. Well, CPI is based off of last month's numbers. And if they're using that as data looking forward, if you're going year over year, and I know month over month and then the core is what they really look at. But going forward, when you're looking at those numbers, you're like, all right, well, we're anticipating this is coming down. Elon has already said it himself with a lot of the costs that they have that they're looking at for their vendors, 6 months out, those prices seem to be coming down. So if all of a sudden we get a collapse in commodity prices at the end of the year, while the Fed is still raising interest rates, especially if we go into a recession and it's looking like, we've already had a technical recession and, the Democrats are trying to change the definition of a recession. Whatever it is, it's kind of a little bit mixed, but either way, we're in a technical recession right now. And we're looking at, they're already adjusting GDP data down. The Atlanta Fed, I think it was the Atlanta Fed, came out and said that, 2.6% GDP is what they were originally looking at. They've already pulled that down to 1.6%. If that pulls down a little bit further, even if we come in a little bit positive GDP, it's still not great. We're moving in the right direction. But man, if they raise interest rates too fast, they're going to have to turn around and make a massive U-turn. Not bad to do a U-turn because that U-turn, again, not financial advice, but historically, when we see the Fed U-turn, that is when the market U-turns and goes into a bull market again. So just keep your eye on that. So if the Fed does end up going with a 75 basis point hike here in September, watch out for the next FOMC meeting or two, because if the CPI data starts to really come down by the time we hit the November FOMC, watch out, because we may very well get a U-turn very quickly at the beginning of next year, and we can see the market significantly rally. Let me see. All right, let me get to the news about the lithium, and I'll see if there are a couple of good articles on it. One of them is about the Nevada stuff, and I definitely want to get into that. Where is Nevada? Oh, here we go, lithium. So this is very early stages, very early preliminary stuff going on. So off the Gulf Coast, Texas, they're looking at a potential feasibility of doing some refining themselves for lithium. Elon had said it before. It's something that they don't want to get into. Look at, I love the ads, just ads everywhere. So, as Elon said, they don't want to have to get into lithium refining. That's not something they really want to do. But if they have to, that is the first major bottleneck that they see coming up that is going to hold up the world from transitioning over to renewable energy. They need lithium. That's it. So at this point right here, we know that regulations take forever to get through. I believe last I heard is it's 10 years from start of build to get a lithium refining plant up and running. That's absolutely ridiculous. So they're looking to try and speed this up. So looking here, if approved, construction could begin in the fourth quarter of 2022. I mean, that's fast. That's a couple of months, and can reach commercial production by the end of 2024. So 2 years is awesome. And 2024, as we know, that's when robo-taxis are out. That's when Cybertruck is going to really be hitting, ramp at that point, massively ramping, and then with a compact car, which I know they're going to announce, and we'll see that probably get released end of 2024 at the latest, most likely. So seeing that coming out, they need a lot of lithium. So they're already on top of it. So this tells me that Elon is working on Master Plan Part 3. He has seen what's going on. He's seeing, all right, this is what we need. We need massive scaling of lithium, and nobody else is doing it. Nobody's getting on board fast enough to make it happen. That's what Tesla does. Tesla gets on board and they make it happen. And look at what we saw with EVs. Tesla came on board and they're like, hey, you know what? We need EVs. We're going to change this. And then guess what happened? Within 5 to 10 years, everybody else started doing the same thing. We're going to see the same thing with lithium. Tesla's going to come on and say, lithium refining, let's do this. And then all of a sudden, we're going to see a lot of other companies jump on board and be like, oh, we should do lithium refining, and we'll have a lot more companies jumping on and doing the same, which will help transition the world faster through the second half of the decade. So this is great, but where is it here? They had the specifics on. So Tesla stands to gain from lower logistic costs and incentives may get from the U.S. government. So they're going to get kickbacks from the government for doing this, and of course, being right next to Austin, I mean, it's right there. So having lithium right there next to Austin is going to be huge. Let's see. There was something they had said specifically about. So it's in the application. I know it was Sawyer had it up, so I may just jump over to Sawyer's and see what that said. All right, let me jump over to Sawyer's and see. Yep, 6,000. For those of you who just jumped on, thank you so much for helping us hit 6,000 subscribers. That is absolutely awesome. All right, let's go over to Sawyer here. Oh, yes, Alexandra. So for you guys, I will be posting the link later tonight. This Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we will be having on Alexandra, and we will be having on Vinny, and we will be chatting about credit ratings. We'll be chatting about the ESG ratings. We'll be chatting about everything. It's going to be a very down-to-earth conversation. And I know Alexandra's very, very smart about what she's talking about. So I told her, I don't know if you guys had saw the live stream that Farzad did with her and Gary Black, and very informative. If you guys want to check that out, I highly recommend it. And for those of you guys who are, because for me, I'm more on a basic level. I don't want to say too basic, but they were talking about things I didn't fully understand. So Alexandra and I were chatting, and we're going to kind of take it down to, maybe a little bit more of a basic, down to earth type level to really kind of bridge the gap between what, basic knowledge is and what they were talking about. So for those of you guys who are newer to investing and don't fully understand, we'll get a lot of that information to help you guys out as well. Let me see. Let me get Sawyer's brought up. Sawyer. All right. And for those of you guys who don't follow Sawyer, I highly recommend that also. And there was a full link to it. I don't know why I can't find it. But he's got the full update. Yeah. But they basically said they're talking about, I think it is in here. Tesla is evaluating possible development of battery-grade lithium hydroxide refining facility, the first of its kind in North America, as well as facilities to support other types of battery materials, processing, refining, and manufacturing, and ancillary manufacturing operations in support of Tesla's sustainable product line. So all of it. And actually, I didn't even read this one. I missed this tab, so this is good. So it's all types of battery materials, not just lithium. So that's going to be huge. Tesla will process raw ore material into a usable state for battery production. The process Tesla will use is innovative and designed to consume less hazardous reagents and create usable byproducts compared to the conventional process. So Tesla is looking to, again, vertical integration. They're going to be doing all of this on their own, and they're going to be doing it in a cleaner and neater and more efficient fashion than anybody else is doing it out there. That's just how Tesla does it. And it's just mind-blowing how much they do and how much they're in control of their own destiny. But they did say that this is, again, still very early on in the process. It is just really looking at the feasibility behind whether this is actually something they want to go through with or not. But knowing that Elon is working on Master Plan Part 3, knowing where the bottlenecks are, I'm sure Elon has reached out to many other people, especially lithium refining plants as well, to discuss with them, hey, what are you guys doing? Are you guys going to be bringing this on board? How fast are you speeding up? And I'm sure a lot of them came back with answers he did not like. So he's like, all right, we're going to do it ourselves then. At least that's my guess. But knowing Elon, that's probably pretty accurate. Let me get over to here. Lots of comments you guys are throwing out here. What else we got? Hey, Karav, how's it going, buddy? Let me see. Randy, if we go into a declining economy, I think investors will put their money into and safer, stronger players in each segment. Tesla's a solid bet. Absolutely. And that's what happens. So like, obviously we're feeling better right now. You know, it doesn't feel like we're in any sort of massive recession by any sort, but you know, if we do get to that point, because a lot of people are anticipating it's going to get worse, I still don't know. I'm just preparing myself for either direction. If we get worse, I'm ready to go. If we get better, I'm gonna ride it up and enjoy it. You know, so I'm good either way. But if we do end up pulling down, you've got to look at that, and that's exactly right, Randy. It's, you know, you look at these solid stocks. What stocks are going to be there? And you know, fortunes are born during the bear markets. That's where you say, all right, well, coming out of a bear market, who is going to thrive the fastest? Because when we do come out, those top companies are going to run very much like Apple did when we came out of the housing recession. So Tesla would be the exact same way coming out of this. So, you know, that's why I'm dollar cost averaging. I increased my dollar cost average to $25 a day. I have about 11% cash right now. If we do end up pulling back to 250, I will be dumping in half of that at that level. And then I've still got 5% cash to see, hey, if we do pull back further for whatever reason, I'll just keep adding more. Bitcoin, man. What is a bad time to buy Tesla? Never. I would say there's never a bad time to buy Tesla, honestly. Again, not financial advice. I have to keep on saying that or else I get in trouble. And but yeah, to me, my personal opinion, there's never a bad time, especially if you have a long-term vision of the company. If you're swing trading and you're trying to do it that way, then you know you want to time it a little bit better. Timing is very difficult, very risky. But if you guys are looking at the stock 5-10 years down the road and holding it for that long, there really isn't a bad time to buy. I mean, seriously, looking at price targets, just my own price targets, looking out 5 years. I mean, I'm looking at least one, if not two splits over that time. I will be updating my split chart once I do some math on some buybacks. And actually, that's something that Alexandra and I are going to talk about on our live stream as well, as the buybacks and how those work when it comes to credit ratings, because she talked about that on the live stream. So I want to dig a little bit deeper on that. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking out 5 years and you think the stock is going to 5x in the next 5 years, buying now at any price is not a bad buy. Felipe, Tesla is a child today, so much to grow. EVs, batteries, robotaxis, Cybertruck, energy. So energy is a big one. So it's something that's kind of been playing around in my brain the last few days. As I'm like, you know what? I was like, EVs are going, and obviously EVs are the bread and butter right now. But the next big S curve, well, I mean, technically, I guess FSD and robotaxis will be the next big S curve that comes out. But I still do kind of lump them in with EVs. The next huge one is energy. And that's something that's kind of the sleeper that's coming up. And when you're looking at energy, think about Tesla back in 2013, 2014. It was just starting to get going at that point. And if you look back right now, I mean, I'm pretty sure every one of you right now would say, I would have loved to buy Tesla stock back in 2014. If you didn't, you definitely would have wanted to, or even bought more. So I think that's where we are right now with energy. I think when we get to the 2026, 2027 mark, we're going to look back at 2022 and be like, dang, man, I wish I bought more Tesla stock, because that's when the energy really started to take off. And we're going to get into that because there was a great article by CNBC today, which surprisingly, CNBC put out a good article. But we'll go into that. And there was a lot of really good information in there. Karav, unfortunately, school takes up nearly all of my time at this point. I'm doing homework for most of the day. I'll try to post more on the weekends. No, dude, school always comes first. Take care of school first. We are always here to support you. Do what you can to put out numbers, but school first. Always take care of that. Let's see here. Let me get back over to that article. Get out of here. Where's the other article? There we go. So on CNBC here, some leaked audio from a Tesla internal meeting over about Giga Nevada. And there were some good numbers that came out of this. So what ended up happening was the former vice president of Gigafactory operations, Chris Lister, he left. And so they needed to fill his spot. So they filled it with Hiroshi Sagar. And so he's in charge of that. He's also in charge of Fremont, I believe. So he's going to be overseeing the Tesla's vehicle assembly plant in Fremont as well. So, so he's going to be doing that. And he was talking, and again, you know, an executive left Tesla, and all they did, Elon and Sager also, you know, they really appreciate what Chris did. So very grateful for this leaving. You know, so very much like when Andre left, very good feelings, JB. And I'm thinking like all these guys have built great relationships with Elon and Tesla. So whatever these guys go off to do in the future, I have no doubt whatever they're doing, if it's something that Tesla can work with them and partner with them on, we're going to see that. I have no doubt we're going to see Redwood Materials partnerships coming up very soon. And then whatever Andre's working on, you know, maybe he's going to go be a professor at the Technical Institute of Technology and Science. And so if that happens, then, you know, awesome. And maybe he'll be a professor there. So the numbers came out. So they celebrated, you know, let me see. They made, so Fremont produced 134,000 vehicles out of, so Fremont, you have 134,000 in the second quarter. So that was huge. So here are the numbers that I grabbed. So Karav, I don't know if you saw this, but the Fremont factory is now able to make around 12,000 cars per week, and it's aiming for 14,000. So I put those numbers, you know, just if you annualize those, we are looking at, oh my God, my phone is blowing up. What is going on? So looking at that, so that's a run rate of 624,000 per year, and 14,000 to 728,000 per year. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot higher than I had them at. So, Karav, I don't know where you've got them, but let me know, because like those are way bigger numbers than I thought for production coming out of Fremont. I knew that they were going to bump up. I had them pushing close to 600,000, but not that high, at least not that high that fast. So I'm definitely going to be updating my production numbers this weekend on that. So which company or miner to invest in lithium? So there's two that I know of that are good. There's SLI, which is the lower priced one that I am currently in. And then there is LAC, which is another one. And if you don't know which one, LIT is an ETF for lithium. Very good. But as we've talked about before, what is the best ETF on the market right now? Tesla. Tesla is the best ETF out there, and they're going to be getting into lithium most likely. So even if you're looking at lithium, Tesla is the play to go. It's kind of ridiculous. This is a good question, Sophie. When do we think the first Cybertruck will actually be on the road in 2023? I'm going to say June. I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to say June of 2023, we are going to see the first Cybertruck on the road. So, because Elon did say that they're going to see volume production by the summer of next year. So I know Elon's always aggressive, so I think we actually see volume production probably in Q3, maybe end of the summer, beginning of the fall. We'll start to see volume production. So the first ones will probably hit the road. And Gary Black was talking about, I think he said 200,000 or something like that. He said some incredibly high number for Cybertruck. Maybe I misheard him, but that seems to me to be extremely high, unless he really thinks that Cybertruck is just going to hit the ground running next year and go crazy. Let me see here. What else we got? You guys are talking about GM. Yeah, GM. I don't know, man. Skeptical of those numbers. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna take a look at mine. I don't have easily accessible because I've been updating all my spreadsheets on here. But yeah, like these numbers just shocked me. I did not think that they were at this point. You know, we keep on hearing about Trip Chowdhury going over there saying that, you know, they're just pumping out vehicles like crazy in Fremont. They're doing way better. They're 10%, 20% better than they were before. You know, looking at these numbers, he's not wrong. They really are. So then getting into some of the energy stuff. Oh, and then the drive unit production, they produced 283,473 powertrains in the second quarter, feeding the Fremont and Austin factories. So, I mean, huge numbers that are coming out of there. Let me see. Getting down to their energy numbers. So here's a big one. And this is where I'm going to start breaking out, and I'm going to have to try and figure out the best way to do a spreadsheet for energy. But they're looking at doing 42 giant megapack batteries in a 7-day rolling period. Now, me personally, I do not have enough knowledge on the energy side of things to be able to compare that to anything like where were they at before? Is this good progress? I'm assuming it's good progress because of the fact that, Tesla's on target to produce 442 megapacks in the third quarter, which is an 85% growth over Q2. So, that is massive growth. So that tells me that the megapack battery growth is also huge. They've also hit an exceeded production rate of 6,500 power walls per week. So let me know. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys have power walls yourself? I know some of you do. I know it's something I plan on doing when I start buying houses. One of the things I want to be able to provide to my tenants is a power wall, is a source of power for if we lose power. And if the electricity's off, do they have a way to, still function? So for me, that's the big one. And I'm most likely going to be getting Starlink as well. And with any of my tenants, I will suggest, hey, if you want internet connectivity when the power goes out, go ahead and do it. Last week I couldn't do my live stream because 15 minutes before we went live, I ended up losing power. And we had a substation down the road, and we have a town power plant who's very, very good. But we lost power, and as something happened at the substation, and I was out for 4 hours, and I have doo-doo service here at home, so I couldn't even connect because I got AT&T. But I'm like, if I had a power wall and I had Starlink, I would have been business as usual, no issues. So it's something definitely doing it. And I know with all the power issues that they're having over in California right now, very, definitely do it. I mean, especially out there because they've got solar. So, you're never going to, you literally can never run out of power if you have a power wall and solar panels in California. It's kind of like a no-brainer. So the Nevada Gigafactory made 37,600 power walls in the second quarter. And again, these are the numbers I'm going to bring up, and I'm going to have to do some digging and searching to get all these numbers. But I'll try to make spreadsheets up with all of the past few years so we can at least get an idea of the growth that we have been seeing. And I don't even know, and I'm going to have to check to see about pricing on all of them too. I've got a lot of work to do ahead of me. As soon as I can get some time to put it all together, I will get these numbers together for you guys on the energy side of things. Because again, I think that's what we're going to see massive growth in on top of the EVs over the next 5 to 10 years. And then this is the big piece that got it to me too. The processing for the water over there. So they're going to be allowing for 98% water recycling and evaporation. So they're really, just trying to do everything they can as environmentally friendly as possible. So, and they also have a new food vendor over there, which is awesome. Maybe I'll go work over there in Giga Nevada. That'd be great. Let me see here. Wow, lots of comments here. Let me shoot through these. Yes, David. 2 weeks to AI Day 2022. Very excited. Do you think that they're going to be unveiling a robotaxi there? There's been a lot of rumors. I know Farzad had talked about it. I know somebody else on Twitter had talked about it. Investing against the grain. If you guys don't check him out, he gave me a shout out. So awesome guy, Nick over there. I'm going to reach out to him and I'll try to have him on the channel also. And yeah, he was talking about it. And so, I think we may see a robotaxi unveiling at AI Day 2022. That would be very exciting. And I don't want to start pumping it because everybody's going to expect it and then we won't get it. And then the stock will crash because we're going to pump the stock going into it, expecting it. Although here I am, keep on saying that the stock is going to crash and we keep running. So maybe I just should say the wrong things. Let me see. In time for a birthday. Almost 3. Just run through your comments here. Karab, let me see. $300 million plus megapack revenue in Q if those numbers are accurate. Okay, that's cool. I will definitely hit you up for some of the numbers because I don't have them all. So I'll definitely work with you on some of those numbers. Hold on. Now I got to finish the wrong numbers. Hold on. You see, my mom always taught me, always read everything all the way through. And I don't do that. I'm not a very good job at that. All right, we'll get updated numbers on that. But yeah, we'll definitely look into those and I'll share them with you guys as soon as I can get them because, that's going to be big for me. Hey, Willie, how's it going? All right. Sweet. What else did I want to share with you guys today? We got that. We've got the news about the refinery. Was there anything else? I don't even know. Let me check Twitter really quick and see if there's anything else that has popped up that I don't know about. Because I know Gary had been putting out numbers some things. And Farzad, now, I'll have to check to see, because I know Farzad was joking again that we're going to get information about Twitter today, and how they're going to seal the deal and make it done. He says like every Friday. It's awesome. Oh, congratulations to Farzad hitting 25,000 subscribers. Great job, buddy. And I know Vinny had Farzad on his channel recently also. If you guys haven't checked that out, go over to Investment Club and check out that interview over there. I'm going to watch that later tonight myself, and I'll see if I can get Farzad on here also. This community is awesome, really. All of you guys, all of the content creators that are out there, everybody over on Twitter, you guys are outstanding. Oh yeah, that's a good one, Randy. So they're advertising for the Equinox. It's not coming out for 1 year. And so this is one of the things I look at when it comes to advertising. Think about the reasons why companies need to advertise. They need to advertise because they need to get the product out there to convince people to buy it. That is what advertising is. It is to convince people to buy things. If you don't need to advertise and your product sells itself, that means you don't need to convince anyone of anything. That means that your product is good enough to sell itself. There's no convincing needed. So when I see companies who have to advertise, then I'm like, oh, do I really want that? Now, I owned, probably like 10 years ago, I owned an ICE Equinox. It was a good car. I have a Honda CRV right now. Basically the same thing, a good, solid, basic, get you from point A to point B SUV. So good car. So I think it's gonna be basic. The Traverse is like the nicer version of it. So, that to me would be the better way to go. But, they're talking about a $30,000 Equinox. Personally, I'm looking at the Equinox saying, well, that's going to be like, I guess the equivalent of the Model Y. But to put it out for 30,000, it's either going to be cheaply made and it's not going to be of good quality, or they're going to be selling it at a loss, which they're already selling all their other vehicles at a loss for. So, you're looking at, the EV tax credit coming out, maybe that's going to get them to break even, because I still think that the EV tax credit's the bailout for them, because realistically that's what it is. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. But seriously, it's kind of a joke. Let me see. All right. So let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, here you go. Ezra pointing out Nicholas against investing against the grain. Definitely, if you guys haven't subscribed, hop over there, help out his algorithms too, and definitely watch his channel. He's got good content. It's very, very similar to mine. I kind of like it. I kind of like his content. It's and he's got an engineering background as well. So I'm going to definitely be talking to him. So Tesla North aiming for over 50% same hour service. So this is good. So, I know one of the issues that Tesla has been having is with their service. That's, I guess the gorilla in the room is the service, or the elephant in the room. Gorilla, I don't know. It's a zoo animal. It's a jungle animal. And yeah, so working on that, it's good. It's good to see that they're working on the service. And I've heard great things about it. I mean, still thinking about the fact that even if it's not, the best service, the fact that if I'm at my job and I cannot get down to a service center and they're willing to come out and fix my vehicle for me, I mean, that to me is significant. That's a huge time saving. So, even if there's some issues and I've got to, dart around things, unless it's a major issue and I can't function, it's still nice to have. Yeah, so here we go. The mobile service as well. Mobile service is great from what I've heard. Let's see. Yeah, and if you guys aren't on Twitter, there's a lot of great information. That's where I get a lot of my information. Sawyer's a great one to follow. Gary Black, he's one of my favorites. Oh, let me see here. After close, Elon filed a third basis for terminating the Twitter merger agreement, namely the payment on 6/28 for severance to the whistleblower, which gave. Okay, this is good information. Let's see if I can get in here. Oh, that's a lot of legal jargon. I'm not going to dive into that all the way. But so he filed a third basis for terminating the deal. So Elon's looking to get out of this. Now I've been checking Elon's. Let me see. I think I still have it up here, and I'll do another check right now with you guys. Where is it? No, do I not? Oh, there it is. So if you guys don't know, you can go to SEC report and just look up Elon Musk, and you could check out all of his filings that he has. Because that's where I go just to see what's going on. So the last one was, yeah, end of August. So nothing new for him. Because I've been checking to see if he's selling his Twitter shares and be like, well, obviously, I think he's holding on because he has to wait for the ruling. Because if he's got to buy Twitter, then he's going to hold the shares. Not a big deal. But as soon as we know that he's done, then I'm going to pay attention, because if he doesn't have to buy it, he's going to be dumping shares. And as soon as he dumps those shares of Twitter, he's most likely going to buy back into Tesla. So we better wait for the ruling to see if that's actually going to happen. But as of right now, that's what I pay attention to. And then I've been looking. So I don't know if you guys had seen Form 4 filings over on Tesla's site. So on the 7th, we had Zach Kirkhorn had filed some. It looks like it was all just stock options that he was executing here. Not a big deal on those. So Zach did it. Andrew Baglino did it. And somebody else did it here. Yeah. Gosh, that's a hard name to pronounce. I apologize. Vibov did it as well. So those are big. And now let me see if there's any new ones for today. Nope, nothing new yet. So yeah. So these are the things that I'm checking on a regular basis just to see what's going on. And there's so many people, like, it boggles my mind, because I'll be like, oh, let me check on this. And I'll check Twitter and like 19 people have already seen it. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Do you have like alerts that as soon as something pops up from the SEC through Tesla, you find out about it? If there's a way, I'll find out. But they're so fast. Let me see what we got going on in the comments. PR. Yeah. So this is one of the things I've been talking about with PR. And I don't know, like, if Elon would say, hey, X, Y, and Z for people on social media, Sawyer Merritt, Rob Maurer, Dave Lee, if Elon dubs them as like the PR team, then, we can say, all right, well, they're the unofficial official PR team for Tesla. And, whatever they're going to do for them, whatever it is. But if Tesla can, acknowledge that and say they're our official PR team, I think that would be a huge help. And then, they could go out there and be like, hey, here's the facts, here's what's truly going on. But, and honestly, looking at a PR team, how much is it going to help? I don't know, because you're never going to stop the clickbait headlines from coming out. PR is not going to stop that. All PR is going to do is come out and be able to say, oh no, and negate it and say that's not true, which they can do anyway. They started doing it on Twitter. We do it all the time. So, we're the FUD fighters. And so I've been thinking, let me know if you guys want to see this. I'm not a big drinker, but I was thinking about doing like a live stream, maybe a weekly live stream, doing drunken FUD fighting and having a guest on, and, we'll have some drinks and go through all of the FUD from the week and discuss and just debunk all of it. Just a thought, don't know. I know I'm a lightweight, so it'll be like one drink and I'll be tipsy. But yeah, that's a big thing is fighting the FUD. I think for them, really what it comes down to, and you go, circle back to GM and the advertising is out there to convince you to buy their product. But the advertising is also out there because by paying for advertising and paying for people to advertise your stuff, that means that they're not going to be putting out as many clickbait headlines negatively. So good journalism, as Gary Black had mentioned, good journalism still means that you're going to put out the truth. That is your job, is to put out the truth. But in order to get clicks, you're going to put it out there. And we know that Tesla is going to get significantly more clicks. You put Tesla in the title of something. I know it from here on YouTube all the time. That's why every one of my titles is going to have TSLA or Tesla in it, because it's going to generate the algorithms hitting more on the videos. That's just how it works. And the same works with the media. They're out there, they put Tesla in their headline. So even if the article, and I've seen it before, even if the article doesn't really have anything to do with Tesla specifically, if it has to do with like, FSD, self-driving vehicles, EVs, Tesla's going to hit that headline. And then if you read through the article, Tesla's not really mentioned in there. It's a generic article about EVs, but they throw Tesla in the headline because, that's what's going to generate the clicks for them. So it's kind of frustrating, but that's the game that they're playing. And because of the fact that, GM and Ford, you put GM had this problem, people are like, who cares? But Tesla had this problem. Oh, everybody's up in arms. So, that's it. But, if Tesla throws so money to advertising, maybe that will diminish that a little bit. who knows? I think part of me, and one of the things I'm going to discuss with Alexandra is, do we think that Elon is really doing all these things when it comes to the credit rating, not paying them? Because I guess, and something I learned from that live stream was, I guess you can pay the credit rating bureau or whatever and pay your credit rating fees to, have them give you a better credit rating. Kind of a garbage system where you can just basically buy your way to investor grade, which is silly. But that's how it works. And I guess what Apple had done, and I may be wrong, and I'll make sure I get it correct with Alexandra, is Apple will then say, hey, we're going to, go out there and get a whole bunch of, take a loan out for, let's say, $3 billion. They will take that $3 billion, use it for the credit fees, and then do a massive buyback for that same exact amount. So they'll have no debt. They're going to get the credit rating bump. They're going to buy back shares, rinse and repeat, and they keep on doing that. So I think that may be something Tesla ends up doing in the future when it comes to the buybacks. I don't know. I'm going to get more information from Alexandra on that. But, looking at the fact that Tesla is going to go through and try to, do this, I don't know. I think Elon is personally and purposefully not doing that to fight the system and say, we are not going to do this anymore. I'm tired of the system and the way it's working. It's a broken system. It's a corrupt system. We are not going to follow that, and we need to break it. So part of me thinks that's what Elon is doing, but we shall see. Let me see here. Willie, AI Day 2 is September 30th. Will be AI Day 2. Or AI Day 2022, as they've now been touting it. Let me see. This is interesting. Tom, trying to learn if they can use the boring machine to mine lithium. What use could all that tunneling be used for? Actually, that's true, because they've been tunneling and working on getting tunnels under Austin. So I don't know, and I don't know the specifics behind the mining of lithium. I know there's a lot of ways to get lithium. I've heard of a lot of different methods that are out there. So I will find somebody who has more knowledge on that. But lithium is extremely abundant. I think the bigger issue is the refining of it. That's true, Willie. I mean, coming from Tesla itself, that is important. You are right about that. A lot of people do listen to Sawyer, Dave, Rob, but you're right. Coming directly from Tesla, maybe they'll just unofficial. Maybe they'll hire him. Maybe they'll hire Rob and Sawyer and Dave Lee and say, hey, you know what, you guys, you are on our payroll. You are official Tesla, and that's it. And so then it could be coming right from Tesla. Let me see. Tesla stock doubling next year, your base case. So all the price targets I've been putting out, I do have a bear and a bull case, but for me, the time that I have to put into all of it to come up with all my valuation models and updating all my spreadsheets, I do have very limited time. So trying to do all of them and do the right job of them and not just, whip through numbers and make stuff up. I'd rather do good quality. I only have base cases right now. So that is my base case, is doubling. So I have end of this year, actually, I'll give you guys the updated numbers because I'm going to update them again tomorrow. Let me see. Actually, I don't even know if I've got, I can find them this way. So yeah, I'll update you guys with my current numbers right now. And those are, let's see. Base case price targets. We've got end of this year is 458 is what I have for the end of this year. I did bump that up when we got new production numbers that were coming out and talking about some of the costs that were coming down. I bumped up my price target to 458 for the end of this year, and then 858 for the end of next year. So again, that is my base case. So 858, and then timing wise, I'm thinking we're going to be, mid 800s by the end of next year. Then we go into 2024, and we're going to have Robotaxi coming out. Cybertruck is going to be hitting higher volume production. FSD should be solved at that point. So then we're going to really start running. And that's why I want to pay attention to energy, because I think energy is really going to start moving up as well, especially if they start getting into lithium. If lithium refining starts happening in 2024 also, we can see a major run in the stock. And that's why I think by the end of 2024, where my price target is 1131, I think in August of that year, we could be hitting around that $1,000 mark where Tesla's going to say, hey, we now have 2 new factories opening up, maybe more. It is going to be time to give ourselves a split again. So I think 2024 is when we're going to see our next split. I originally said it was going to be 4-to-1. may not be 4-1. I think it depends on buybacks. Maybe it's going to be a 3-1, but either way, I think we're going to see another split in 2024 when we hit the stock price of about $1,000. Yeah, the Tesla Q, man, they are brutal. Like some of the stuff, and I know Karav was actually, I mentioned it when he had to get booted from his Twitter page and had to start over again. He was actually grateful because he got to get rid of some of the Tesla Q conversations that he was having. I don't blame you, dude. I mean, some of those guys, and some of them are they just come out, and I think some do it just because they know it's going to get us riled up. So this is why for me, I keep my emotions out of it mostly. And some of them, like I've even had conversations with Taylor before, discussing, hey, I'm trying to find out genuinely from the guy, what is his stance? Where is he coming from? Is he coming from a place of, hey, I've got my money, invested in these other companies with LiDAR and Legacy Auto, and that's why I'm bashing Tesla, just trying to get some truth out, even finding the Tesla Q, where is the truth in all of it? And yeah, Taylor's not a good one. Taylor is definitely has his hand in those pockets, and I think he only does follow Tesla stuff just so that he can point out any sort of negative that he can. Do the drunken fighting. I'll drink with you. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm totally down. I'll figure it out. I'll get some things down, and I don't want to make drinking a habit for myself. But if I do it once a week and have like a couple of beers or a couple of glasses of wine or whatever on a weekend, I think that would be okay. I think I'll be fine. Let me see. 3 power lines going in at Nevada. Oh, nice. So is that on top of what they already have? Because that's huge. And I know they're doing that there. And then I know over in Fremont, they're doing a lot of hiring as well. And actually, I don't know if it's actually Fremont, but somewhere in that area, they've got a lot of hiring going on for their for the megapack factory that's going up there. So megapacks, powerwalls. I mean, let me see. Laurie, you think we will still close the gaps down to levels at 250? Yeah, I was talking about it before. I do. I do think we're going to come down. Looking at the charts here again, we're at the point right here where we are. We're broken out of this downward channel, but I do think we're going to come down. What I had pointed out before here, how we had seen we were in a downward channel, we bumped up, and then we fell down again. We bumped up, and so we're breaking out of downward channels regularly on these dead cat bounces. So it happens. Not to say that it is going to happen again, but we've seen it. And again, we didn't have high volume today. So again, I don't know timing wise. Timing wise, I figured it was going to happen with CPI coming up. I figured we're going to have the CPI, PPI, coming down. But maybe what we end up getting is a CPI that comes in at 7.9, and we continue running. And then all of a sudden, FOMC, they come out with a slammed hawkish stance with 75 basis points, and boom, the market falls out. Or maybe we hit a black swan event, or maybe something goes on with the elections and just causing some uncertainty. The market manipulation around this time of year, a lot of people like myself are going to be looking at timing and say, hey, timing going into CPI looks like we should come down at that time. And then the market manipulators will say, hey, everybody's expecting the stocks to come down at that time. We're not going to let them come down at that time. In fact, we're going to let the stocks run through that instead. Then people are like, oh, we're running through. CPI numbers were good. Let me buy. And then they pull the rug out from underneath us afterwards. So just some of the mental gymnastics I play when it comes to the market manipulation and all of these numbers, because nobody truly knows what's really going to happen except for the people who are causing it to happen. So I've got to play through my head all the different scenarios. I just in my gut feel like we are going to be coming down. Let me see. Apple juice during that. That's awesome. Let's see. Definitely do drunken streams when Tesla goes back to all-time high. All right. I mean, I'll do that. I'm totally down. And I don't like to do a lot of drinking, live for you guys or anything like that. But if we're going to do it once a week for entertainment purposes and I'll have a guest on, I think that'll be entertaining. Cool, Willie. Awesome. 3 new lines. That is great to hear. So yeah, and again, energy, EVs right now are getting all of the hype. EVs are getting all of this. It's almost like Tesla's EV noise is what's blocking out what's going on with energy right now. So that's not a bad thing. So if you pay attention to see what's going on underneath all that noise with energy, that's where a lot of people are not looking right now. Shooting for 1 million power. Wow. Wow, that's massive. Shooting for over 1 million walls per year. Let's see. Seems unlikely we'd fill the 250 after the Q3 numbers. No, I'm totally going to agree with you. So I totally think that, once we hit Q3 numbers, we wouldn't. But then I'm going to revert back to, let's go back to the charts here. Let's go all the way back to October of last year, where we were running up and we made these gaps right here. And then we shot to the moon. Let me see if I can. Shot to the moon, and we're like, oh, there's no way we're coming back. We're at $1,200. We're never going to go under $1,000 again. And then sure enough, what ended up happening a few months later? Ba-boom, we crashed. Elon started selling on my birthday, and we gave me all this wonderful discounts through the holidays to buy at sale prices. Thank you, Elon. And then all of a sudden, we started getting interest rates going up. We started having talks about that, and then the stock came crashing down. So I'm never going to say never, but just because we have already seen things like that happen. So it does seem to me like it's unlikely that we would fill it after Q3 numbers. But, I've got to always keep that little nugget in the back of my head telling me that there's always a chance. Yeah, what are the prices of the power walls right now? Are they $500? I thought it was. I could be wrong. I'm going to need to price them out next year anyway when I buy them for my houses, but I'm actually very interested. And I did hear something in one of the articles I had read, and I'm wrong. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more research on this. But in the article, it was saying how in order to get a power wall, you've got to buy Tesla solar also. But I don't think that's true, because I'm sure plenty of people have power walls without solar. Beautiful cup and handle on the weekly. Ooh, I'll check that out. Let me see what we got. Yeah, because I know we had talked about that. So if we're looking at, come on. So yep. So here's the cup and handle that we had. The cup and the handle, and just like we had said, we're at the handle. We dip down, and yeah, look at that. On the weekly, we have our own little cup and handle. So we could see this little bit of consolidation. That's what we were talking about. So if we get a little consolidation going on, maybe we get that pullback down. We bounce off of that line down here, and then shoot back up. So many things could possibly happen. All I know is I'm still anticipating it pulling back to fill those gaps with my cash. Let me see. If we go down and load the boat, I need another 180 shares to have a very nice round numbers. Yes. And it's so nice. Oh my goodness. From all of this, from the split, my dollar cost averaging, it's like because now I'm at $25 a day. So it's about $125 a week. So yeah, it's like every 2 weeks, I'm basically getting a share, which is nuts. It's so nice to see. And I'm just going to keep on getting. I want to get 50 by the end of the year. I shouldn't have a problem with that, though. Let's see. A lot of older people think that all Teslas are powered by gas generators or coal. I tell them about solar and free driving. That is a good, there is a lot of misconceptions. I even have a lot of people come into my job and they're talking about it. They're talking more and more about EVs. And this is, again, little signs that I pay attention to. Literally every single day on my local news, there is something about EVs, solar, energy, power walls, something going on in the news. And, a few times a week, I'll have customers come in and they'll be talking about, Tesla, EVs, and all sorts of stuff. And I have to debunk a lot of the misinformation that's out there, and one of the senators on Twitter had posted something about, how dirty it is. He's a big Trump supporter. And he's, touting how dirty the grid is. And, hey, all your EVs, you're saying they're clean, but look, they're all running on coal. And I'm like, well, that's great, but let's get rid of coal. Why do we have to rely on coal? Get rid of it. So what is the point? You're going to purposely hold us back because the new products that's coming out are cleaner, have to run on the old dirty stuff. Well, everything is dirty. So let's clean it all up. Clean up the grid, man. Why are we holding ourselves back? I will now always sell a month before your birthday. Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe but 2 years ago, maybe it's every other year, because 2 years ago, if you bought before my birthday, you would have done very well, because going back here, back to 2020, let me see. Yeah, because 2020 is when we got included into the S&P. So we had that massive run. So if you guys had bought in, let me see, my birthday. All right, so here it came down, but then Wait, was that 2020? Am I crazy? Oh, that's 2021. Hold on. Let's go back to the correct year. That would help. All right, August, September, October. All right, let me see here. Come on, chart. Work with me here, buddy. All right, I don't know what's going on. I apparently don't know how to use my own computer. But yeah, so I mean, right around my birthday is when the S&P, when we got included in the S&P, they announced that, boom, the stock took off. Oh, there we go. There it is. So yep, so going to my birthday here. See, if you had bought on my birthday here, look at this massive run you would have gotten. So you can't fully go by that. So I would say every other year. We'll see how we do this year before my birthday. Because right now I'm shooting 50 for 50 or 50%. We got 1 year that things skyrockets after my birthday, and the next year it tanks after my birthday. And coincidentally, my birthday falls on election day a lot of times too. So let's see. Let me see. Oh, Jerry here. One Powerwall is $10,500 right now. You have to buy. You have to have solar, but later in the year you can. Okay, all right. Well, that's good. That's good to know. And do you have to have Tesla solar or just any solar? I'm good either way. I prefer Tesla. I know Enphase has a very good product also too. So, but I'd rather just stay in the ecosystem of Tesla. That looking at Apple and how everything integrates together. Like Apple or hate them, their ecosystem is pretty solid. So that's what Tesla is going to end up being as well. I just have a feeling that Tesla is going to do a better job, and seeing how Tesla or Apple's ecosystem does not jive with a lot of the math stuff that's out there. Like for me, for instance, trying to do a lot of my spreadsheets and numbers through Apple does not translate over to Excel. And because not everybody has numbers, especially on Patreon, I've got to go out there and I've got to put everything in Excel, and it does not translate over easily. So I've got to recreate everything in Excel. So I have a feeling Tesla might figure that out and end up doing something that is more that other people can integrate with. We'll see. All right, we are hitting that 1 hour mark. I'm going to be heading off. I've got to go eat some dinner. My son has soccer in the morning, so I've got a lot of work to do. So any of you guys who are patrons, I will be getting my numbers out. Normally I do it Saturday morning. I'm going to get those out to you guys either Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning just because of my schedule. Then Sunday afternoon, we are going to be having our live stream with Alexandra and Vinny. That will be on at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys want to check that out. And this weekend, I will be setting up memberships. Again, memberships are not required by anybody. It's something just for you guys to kind of show your appreciation to me. And I'm going to have a bunch of little perks on there. Like I've got merch that's going to be coming out. You'll get discounts on merch. I'll have special one-on-one stuff with you guys. Just a bunch of little things for you there. I'm going to make them super cheap. It's like $1 for the lowest one and then $2 for the next one for just some perks and that. And then you get cool little Tesla icons and things. Then I can see you guys pop up, because I am getting to the point, because my job is so busy and I haven't had an opportunity to leave my job yet. So when I get there, it'll be easier, but it's getting very busy. So I try to get to everybody's comment that I can. It's getting harder. So I know sometimes it's more delayed. I like to get on top of it right away. Sometimes it's a little bit more delayed, but I'm working on that. But if I have the memberships, this way I can say, hey, if I do have to prioritize and I cannot get to everybody's comments, I'll end up going to those first, just because you guys are members. That's all. But otherwise, let me just see if there's anything else on here. Yes, have a great weekend. Thank you, everyone. You'll be on the live stream. Awesome. Yeah, Alexandra's awesome. Very, very down to earth and friendly. She's fantastic to talk to. Gosh, she's over in West Coast time. Like I was chatting with her when I went to bed at like 8:30, and then I got up in the morning at 3:30, and she was still on responding to me. So definitely, always on and always available. So otherwise, you guys have been awesome. Thank you again so much. 6,000 subscribers today was fantastic. Otherwise, I will see you guys. I'll try to put out a video tomorrow or Sunday morning, and then I'll see you guys on the live stream Sunday.